back to my YouTube channel. So in today's video, it's gonna be quite different from all my other videos because we are going to talk about something quite serious yet very common and beneficial in our society today. You might have already seen it in the title below that we will be talking about forgiveness. So I just wanna share my insights with you and hopefully I could leave an impact about this certain topic. Okay, so why did I think about this topic? So ever since the start of quarantine, me and my mom watches a teleserye every night, and the title of this teleserye is Love Thy Woman. And just last Friday, it ended. The theme of the finale was about forgiveness, and that just brought me to the point of self-reflection. So yeah, this is my reflection and I want to share it with you. Okay, let's go. Okay, first things first, I am definitely not a stranger of the business of forgiveness. I've caused pain to a lot of people in my life, both consciously and unconsciously, and also I've been hurt by a lot of people. But Jesus teaches us to forgive. We may ask, how many times should we forgive? The answer is all the time until we die. So we ask, how are we going to forgive? Can we really teach our hearts to forgive the way Jesus forgives us? The answer is yes, and we go back to the reason why we forgive. Can we really move on? Or how can we move on? Again, we go back to forgiveness. Okay, so let's tackle the different aspects of this topic. So there are two tragedies in our life. The tragedy of our past, which will lead us to how we can move on and forgive, and the tragedy of our future, which we commit ourselves to the promise of change. So this really matters because we are all wounded in our own different ways. So we must learn to forgive for us to be able to heal and move on with our lives with a greater meaning and purpose. It's always good to start fresh and to start with a new sense of purpose. To forgive is having a new sense of self-esteem. It's like freeing yourself from your past and giving value to yourself. And to forgive requires a lot of courage. Without forgiveness, you will not be able to free yourself from the past and to look forward to the future with a good sense of purpose. When we forgive, it doesn't mean that we excuse the other people's actions. Every pain inflicted on us is always injustice, or vice versa. Like, you cannot erase the fact that you've been hurt, right? If you get hurt, and if we hurt someone, we cannot erase the fact of what they did. Unjust doesn't mean that we cancel out our feelings. People usually say that we forgive and forget. But for me personally, I believe that we forgive and we remember. Because by remembering our faults or by remembering what has caused pain to our loved ones, to our friends, it simply means that there is something to work on in our relationships. When we forgive and when we remember, we can correct the wrong things that we have done, and we can try our best not to repeat the mistakes that we have committed. How are we going to forgive? So these are my tips from my personal experiences, and also I got some of my insights from the homily of the mass I attended last Sunday. So number one, we have to be forgivingly fit, or is there such a term? Basta, you have to be forgivingly fit. This means that we open our hearts to the faults of other people. We have to positively change our inner world. This means that we have to do things repeatedly. Just like in being physically fit, you don't get results if you don't do things repeatedly. For example, I want abs, I want this kind of body. I can't get that overnight, right? I have to do it over and over again. Oh my gosh, the dogs! So in order to achieve something, you have to do it consistently. You have to do it over and over again. And that's just the same in forgiveness. You have to do it over and over again until you die. Because that's what the Bible tells us. That's what Jesus teaches us. We have to personally commit ourselves to do no harm and to show kindness every day, to start doing good, because we can never go wrong with kindness, especially in our world today na there are a lot of fried chickens, fried eggs, prideful people. But yeah, you get my point. Second, we have to develop and address our inner faith. It is really important to reflect, like what I'm doing now. It is important to figure out and identify the pain that was caused and the person who has caused this pain. This is not to judge the person, but to know who hurt us and what exactly was the pain caused. Because there are different ways of dealing with pain. So it is important for us to identify that so that we will learn how to deal with it. I learned in my psychology class back in college that identifying and naming will reduce their power over us. So when we know that our actions are from past bad experiences, when we acknowledge our faults, then we will know how to correct them and not commit the same mistake in the future. Third, we have to have a forgiving mind. What does this mean? This simply means that we have to keep in mind that we are all wounded. We are all experiencing pain. You are not the only one experiencing pain right now. You know the saying, parehas kayong nasaktan, parehas kayong nasasaktan. When we encounter fights and quarrels, there's always two sides of the story. So both parties may be hurt, both parties may be hurting. So that's why it's harder for us humans to reconcile, because when someone's hurt, the initial reaction is anger. And that is why I think the world is messy. Each and every one of us have different wounds, and we are all experiencing different kinds of pain. The saying goes, we are all in the same sea, though we are not all in the same boat. Same goes with pain, guys. Everyone is experiencing hardships, maybe different situations, different circumstances. That's why just always be kind to everyone, because you really don't know what one is going through if you're not in his or her shoes. I think we should find meaning in our suffering, but we should not diminish the pain that we are feeling. If we get hurt, there is always justification. We always justify our pain. We always find a way to blame others for our pain. The saying goes, everything happens for a reason, or I will make something out of this situation. I'm honestly guilty of this. Like, I try to comfort myself with these words. But you have to remember that injustice is never reasonable. Or else, if we diminish the pain, forgiveness will be very, very shallow. It's just like putting a band-aid over the wound. It's just like covering the wound, but the wound is still there. It's that shallow. Instead of developing a forgiving heart, it's just like a facade. I think forgiveness is about death than something very shallow. Because forgiveness requires us to be courageous. Forgiveness requires us to change our inner core. Yes, it's gonna be hard. Yes, it's hard to battle with your emotions. And that is why I think it is good to really surround yourself with positive people. You really need to have a good support system, because these people will be the ones who will help you heal. These people are the ones who will help you grow. Surround yourself with positive people. Surround yourself with passionate people. People who are passionate enough to tell you that you did something wrong. Because if you surround yourself with negative people and people who will just tolerate your bad attitude or bad actions, you will never grow as a person. And that for me is very important, for you to be equipped in life. Wow, I'm talking like I'm really old, but yeah, that is what life has personally taught me. Then my last tip is for us to learn to forgive ourselves. We have to love one another as we love ourselves, and we have to forgive one another the way we forgive ourselves. This is healthy self-care and self-forgiveness. I know it can be hard because sometimes we set really high expectations of ourselves. We have high hopes for ourselves. Then suddenly we fall short. But I believe that this is the best opportunity for us to get to know ourselves more, to know our weaknesses, and this is the best opportunity for us to know our limits and to not give up on ourselves. Because at the end of the day, we only have ourselves to rely on. You only have yourself to believe. You only have yourself to push you to do the things you want to do. There is no way that you can hate yourself forever, because yourself is the only person that will be with you until you die. And by forgiving yourself, you are also honoring yourself. We learn to appreciate our imperfection, and that is the main reason why we forgive, because we are all imperfect. When we forgive, indeed, we have to honor ourselves. This is who we are. You have to accept that, and we can only do that with God, because God is our pillar of strength, and through Him is the only way that we can positively go on with our lives. We cannot erase the fact that the people who hurt us are the people closest to us, because right, there is a saying that the closer you are to the person, the more he or she has the power over your emotions. And if the person isn't important to you, then why should you care, right? That is why the people closest to you are the ones who have the power to hurt you most. It will be a great struggle to forgive. I cannot deny that fact. But if we exercise forgiveness every day, if we do it consistently, if we forgive consistently, then we are also helping the people who hurt us grow. We develop a forgiving heart from our experiences. We develop a heart of mercy the same way respect is also a language of love. When we forgive each other, then we begin to understand what it's like to be humble, what it's like to be courageous, and most importantly, what it's like to be loving. So that if all of us, or all of you who are listening to this little reflection of mine, will be forgivingly fit, then we can develop a forgiving atmosphere in our homes, in our schools, in our workplace, or whenever we are. And I believe that that can help us move forward. So what I want to say from the bottom of my heart, we need to forgive each other the way God forgives us. And we also have to help other people forgive themselves the way God forgives them. Forgiving does not erase a bitter past. A healed memory is not a deleted memory. Instead, forgiving what we cannot forget can create a new way for us to remember. And that is all for my self-reflection today. I really hope that you got something out of this vlog, and from the bottom of my heart, I am sincerely sorry to all those people that I have hurt. And to those people who have hurt me in the past, may they be aware or not, Even if you didn't ask for an apology, I have already forgiven you long time ago. So yeah, I just hope for peace and love for everyone. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Again, this is Nin. Spread love, take care, God bless, and see you in my next video. Bye! Thank you for watching.